Well, Roppstar gang, I'm back. Back so soon, I'm sure is the question you're asking. Back so soon already, right? Back so soon because I took some time, honestly. Let me clean my camera up here a little bit. I took some time to think about it. It's only been 3 hours. It was so bad, Clay couldn't wait till tomorrow to talk about it. Honestly, that's the honest God truth, Jadarius. That's the honest God truth. I couldn't wait. I could not wait to come back to come and talk about this. I couldn't hold it in anymore, to be honest with you. I couldn't hold it in. I could not hold it in anymore, to be honest with you. Like, the takeaways I took from this ugly loss to Jacksonville, because it was ugly. Same mistakes, same results. It's the same story. It's the same story, ladies and gentlemen. It's another year. It's another season. Another opening embarrassment for this team. Whatever optimism you guys had this offseason, because I didn't have a lot of optimism this offseason. I was very real with you guys. I mean, my expectations were pretty low for the most part. I would say pretty realistic for the most part, right? But we've got this new coach. It's like it feels like we got these new coaching wrinkles. We got these new additions. You know, it feels like supposedly a fresh start, and it was just wiped away about 5 minutes, within 5 minutes of that game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We weren't just beaten. We were outclassed at every level. Coaching, execution, effort, discipline. This was a kind of performance that leaves me as a fan wondering if this team learned anything from last year. And spoiler alert, they didn't. Just like Dave Canales repeated last year's mistakes that we are paying for it now. Because this again, this is another September, another disaster. Because again, guys, like at this point, you would think your head coach and Dave Canales would have actually finally learned from something last year's train wreck of an opening stretch. And a spoiler alert again, he doesn't. He doesn't. He didn't learn from it last offseason. This team came into this season looking like a team allergic to rhythm. And that starts with how they handled the preseason, whether y'all believe that or not. I told you that. I told you this was going to happen. But no, they were like, no, Clay, it's just preseason, Clay. It's just preseason. It's just preseason. It's like that. It's like that. It's like Allen Iverson. Who was it? Yeah, Allen Iverson. He's like, not a game. Not a game. We're just talking about practice. Not a game. No, we're not talking about a real game. We're not talking about joint practice. We're talking about preseason. That's what we're talking about. Not a game. Not practice. Not practice. We're talking about preseason. I feel like I'm AI right now talking about this because I bring it back. I bring it back to do this again. Like, I feel like I'm Allen Iverson talking about, like, the whole practice thing, but I'm talking about preseason. Canales, I told y'all once again, chose to bubble wrap his starters, and the result was Bryce Young in this group coming into week one. Had played a grand total coming into week one, ladies and gentlemen, 4 series in August. And again, I'm going to tell you what I said once, and I'm going to tell you what I said again. And I tweeted about it earlier today after the game. I really started going on Twitter and just started tweeting some thoughts. That was not preparation. That was negligence. You hit the field looking like a JV squad asked to run an NFL offense on short notice. That offense was stuck in first gear and penalties started piling up Every play clock is being milked down to the single second, like they're daring the referees to throw a delay of game flag. Young's timing with his receivers is completely shot, maybe except for Tre'von McMillan, who at least looks like he belongs on a football field. That rest of that unit, lost, confused, inconsistent. And the defense, let's be honest, nobody expected the defense to be good this year. They're living down to those expectations. This offense was supposed to be competent at minimum. Instead, it was chaotic. It was high snaps, mixed signals, blown protections, you name it. Like, we weren't just bad. We were just sloppy. It was an embarrassment. You can't spin this a few different ways, ladies and gentlemen. You can't. You can't spin this a different way. You can't spend this a different way. Maybe Bryce Young is simply having an off day. Maybe Jacksonville is much tougher than the preseason pundits gave them credit for. And maybe this just feels more accurate that the Panthers are just worse than anyone wants to admit. No matter how you slice it up, the root of the issue is the same. Canales chose not to give the starters reps they needed when it actually mattered, and now he's asking them to shake off the rust in real games that count. It's malpractice, ladies and gentlemen. It's malpractice. You can't tell me otherwise, and you'll never be able to tell me otherwise, okay? I'm sorry. You can't. What I have in my mind now is nothing that you can persuade me otherwise. None of you in the chat can persuade me otherwise. None of you will. None of you can. You can say what you want. You can have your opinion in the chat. That's fine, but you will not persuade me otherwise at this point. This team have backed themselves in the same hole they dug themselves out of last year. Now, it's hard to not roll your eyes. If this is Canales' idea of building momentum, we might as well just go ahead and hit the fast forward button to 2026, ladies and gentlemen, because the thing is, I want to go back to the defense. I want to go back to the defense real quick, because I want to talk about the defense and what I was saying. This defense was supposed to be at least a bit competent. But you got hit straight in the mouth by Jacksonville. Once Tershawn Wharton exited with that hamstring injury, that run defense immediately collapsed. And where was Derek Brown? Where was he? Where was Derek Brown, ladies and gentlemen? The guy that we missed last year to come back. I get where he's coming back off of an injury. I get all that. But where was he? Where was our playmaker on defense? I mean, one snap after he left, the Jaguars ripped off a 71-yard run. One snap. That's not just bad luck. That is a system failure. If one rotational lineman, ladies and gentlemen, and all that stands between your defense and looking like absolute ass cheeks, you don't have a defense. You know what you got? You got a problem. That's what you got. You ain't got a defense. For one player, one rotational lineman to come out and stands between your defense, one rotational lineman comes out, and that's the stands between your defense and looking like Swiss cheese. Ladies and gentlemen, You don't have a defense. You have a problem. Matt Travis, nobody's talking about do you really believe it? Nobody has said anything about recovering from this. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you not hear me speak? God, just listen. You listen to me. Do I really think that this team can recover from this? Listen to me is what I'm saying. That this is a total system failure by Giro Evero. That complex 3-4 defense that you just hold pridefully to, Giro Evero, what has it done, man? What good have you done? I mean, we were dead last year, man. Our linebackers are absolutely garbage. They're non-existent. Our safeties are non-existent. But yet you still want to throw Nick Scott out there? You want to throw Nick Scott out there, man, because he played for you. You pick your favorites, man. Oh, we're going to get to Bryce Young. Don't you worry about that. I have my opinions. And listen, no one's going to change my mind now. I'm going to say what I want to say, and that's the way I'm going to keep it here. And I've always said it that way too. But there's no one that's going to tell me otherwise. You can't persuade me otherwise. What I'm about to say about Bryce Young. You don't have a defense. And honestly, what I'm going to say about Bryce Young's really not that bad as much as I'm going to go in on Dave Canales because I still got more to say about Dave. You have again. I'm still stuck on this defense, man. I just don't get it. Because I want someone to please. I mean, it's an absolute shit show with Ejiro Evero. I mean, again, do we blame the players at this point? Do we blame Ejiro Evero? It's the same thing. We're seeing the same things, ladies and gentlemen, that we saw last year. It's like that's what I'm getting at too. It's like that's why I keep saying for Turk Wharton to go out, who is a rotational lineman, and that is all that stands between your defense and looking like ass. You don't have a defense. You have a problem. Y'all are talking about like I'm just like not like tell me there's no hope. Like I'm not saying that there's no hope. Not going to say that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not getting at that. I'm just talking about the defense as what the way I see this defense. And I'm going to start pointing fingers here shortly because here's the thing. Evero brought all this hype in, right? He was supposed to be the next defensive minded guy who could turn this unit into something respectable. And again and time again, it's just an embarrassing display of missed assignments, blown coverage, a run defense that might as well not exist. Like I saw someone today tweet saying, I wasn't surprised. Our defense really wasn't that bad. Okay. Let's go look at can we go look at stats? I mean, can we go? Let's go look at the box score. I mean, how can we say that this defense wasn't that bad based off the game, based off the box score and the stats? We literally allowed, okay. We literally allowed from a passing defense standpoint, we weren't bad. I was actually very pleased with our coverages and our corners. because we only allowed 178 yards passing. Now, over the middle, we were getting cooked. Over the middle, we were getting cooked. Like, Ejiro Evero was supposed to be that guy that comes in here, right? And it's like we gave up 200 yards rushing, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't understand how people can go out there and tweet that. So explain to me how our defense wasn't that good. It's the same thing I saw last year. I mean, the last time I checked, the Carolina Panthers were dead last in almost every category defensively last year. But yet we go out, and we were supposed to rebuild this defense. Yeah, we're supposed to rebuild this defense. We brought in Turk Wharton. We brought in Tre'von Moehrig. We brought in Bobby Brown III. And a healthy Derek Brown's coming back. Oh my God. But but when I told you guys what the real problem was, is that the linebacker group was going to suffer, and that the safety room was going to suffer. I told you guys that they didn't have it. Here's the thing that does bother me with this offseason, is that they did not have a contingency plan for Josie Jewell and Shaq Thompson. And I told you guys that. And now when we go look at this linebacker room, who looks like they were right? I hate telling you that I told you so, but guess what? I told you so. I told you so. I absolutely told you so. You're telling me that this is that you're okay with this right here? Yep. There it is. Perfect. You're okay with that right there? 32 carries, 200 yards rushing, and 6.3. Oh, I'm going to get to the offense. I'm sticking on the defense for a hot minute, ladies and gentlemen, because, again, we had all this hype about this Ejiro Evero guy who came in, right? All this hype. And again, we've just seen embarrassment after embarrassment, missed assignments, blown coverages, a run defense that as well as non-existent. Let's talk about specifics. We were getting gashed week in and week out last year. Opposing running backs are having career days against us like it's a walk in the park. Travis Etienne might have just revitalized his career there with 16 carries and 143 rushing yards. It does not matter if it's Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, or some fucking random backup. That doesn't even matter. Any NFL running back at this point who plays the Panthers, you go ahead. First off, if you're a fantasy, start him, okay? Because they're going to have a field day, and you need to play every player that runs the ball, that has a chance to run the ball against the Carolina Panthers. Because, again, this defensive line is still getting bullied, and our linebackers are out of position once again. Now, our secondary, I thought looked good. I cannot complain about our corners whatsoever. I thought Mike Jack played well. I thought Shaw Smith-Way was making plays. Of course, J.C. Horn is that guy. J.C. Horn is him. J.C. Horn is him. But another thing is we also are seeing missed tackles right and left, ladies and gentlemen. This defense can't seem to tackle. Can't seem to tackle. You know what I mean? Let's get Jameis Winston. Listen, I'm going to get into the offense here shortly. I'm really just want to harp on this defense because we can talk. Y'all can talk about going to get another quarterback, whatever. Y'all talk y'all shit. That's fine. I'm talking about the defense right now. Here's another thing that frustrates me with Ejiro Evero too is just the no adjustments, no answers. Like that's the most infuriating, the most complete lack of adjustments. You know, after the first quarter, it's like Ejiro Evero every single time just throws his hands up and says, "Well, that's all I got." There's no creativity, there's no answers, right? To what the opposing offense is throwing at us, especially on the D line. Like the teams figure out what our defense is basically in about 5 minutes from there. It's open season. Like third downs, forget about it. You might as well spot the offense, an automatic first down. It does not matter if it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 15. Somehow this Panthers defense will give it up every time. And Evero just stands out there on the sideline looking like someone who left the oven on at home and just lost focus and is all confused. That's what that's legit what it is. Like Ejiro Evero's run defense is non-existent. It has been. Like there I get that we had some injuries today. You had Pat Jones go out, you had Turk go out, and I think you had another person that went out at the end of the day. There was somebody else that went out on the D line. I think actually at the end of the day, we had 3 guys that got injured in this game at the end. That's why I'm saying those 3 guys. It was I think it was I'm trying to go see who it was. I'm pretty sure it was let's see. Trying to find it real quick, guys. Sorry. I know that Bobby Brown, Turk, I think it's Bobby Brown the third, Turk, and Patrick Jones were all the guys that were injured that we know for a fact had some type of injury in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a second. Just trying to see that there was like an injury report. I saw it earlier. Of course, Dan Orlovsky, of course, tweeted out there saying that's the most confident we've seen Trevor Lawrence. Well, of course, that's the most confident you've seen Trevor Lawrence. That's a Ejiro Evero effect, man. Yeah, Clay, you're right. Oh, thank you, CJ. Appreciate you joining, by the way, man. What's up, buddy? CJ, I'm not holding back tonight, buddy. I'm not holding back. You know, I'm not. Especially, and I'm talking about this defense right now. Like, it's the same thing again. 0 run defense. Like, holy hell, it was bad, man. Like, you're like 200 yards. Like, I get that Derek Brown is back. I get that we may have had a few guys hurt here and there. But there's just no excuse for getting obliterated on the ground. Our guys are still just not filling their gaps. Tackles are being missed left and right. Like it's like they've completely forgotten that the whole point of defense is to, stop the other team from advancing the ball. It's not just bad. Again, it's still historically bad. You have to go back decades to find a Panthers defense that was this inept. We used to pride ourselves on tough, gritty defense. That 2015 Super Bowl team was fueled by the defense that would punch you in the mouth, make you like would make you think twice about running at them. Like this defense, they're getting run over and they can't even make a decent tackle half the time. I just don't. I don't know what Evergo is telling these guys. They sure as hell don't know what the hell they're doing. I'll say this: I thought I think our corners looked well. I'm not even going to harp on the corners. All I know is that Evero's scheme isn't working. Whatever scheme that Evero is running out there, that complex 3-4 scheme that he runs, he needs to throw it in the trash. It's not working. We're not getting pressure on the quarterback, which we didn't. We can't stop the run, which we didn't. Our secondary looked better, but you are going up against Trevor Lawrence. At this point, it's hard to tell, though, if Evero doesn't have a clue on how to use the talent on the roster, or again, if it's just these players. Are these players just like tuning him out completely? Like either way, it's a disaster. It's just a complete disaster, ladies and gentlemen. And that is, when we do get stops, we don't score. I love that you said that, Commander 336. Thank you. It's that ding dong zone. And that's the reason why I'm holding this up, because I saw a tweet today and someone said that our defense wasn't that bad today. What? Did we watch the same game? Pretty sure we had 200 yards got ran down our fucking throat. You know what I mean? Like I just because either way, if we say it's the talent, or if we say it's the scheme, or we say it's Evero and the scheme, whatever you want to call it, either way, it's a disaster. I just think that good defensive coordinators adjust. They figure out what's going on and what's wrong, and they fix it. Like Evero, he is standing on the sideline, and I know he's watching the same mistakes unfold. And it's the same mistakes that we saw last year. And he just doesn't seem he doesn't change a damn thing. It's like he stubbornly sticks a plan, he tries to stick to this plan that clearly isn't working. And in the process, we're just dragging this entire team down with him. Like, I don't even know what the solution is at this point. At this point, I'm not even sure. I mean, I know that there's still some gaps that need to be like filled with talent wise and both, but there's also terms of scheme and attitude. Like these guys look like they don't believe in what they're doing, and honestly, it's hard to blame them. They put in bad. They're put in bad positions. I mean, we were putting Shy Tuttle. We were putting Shy Tuttle at nose tackle last year. We were dropping back our defensive ends into like our edge rushers, our pass rushers outside into coverage. JC Horn isn't on the best wide receiver on the field. Now this time, it seemed like he was definitely more on BTJ. This game, I felt like I saw Horn line up against BTJ a lot more. I'll give him that. That's why, but it's the same old shit, man. And when it's time for these guys to step up, we just crumble. Like if Evero, I'm telling you right now, if Evero doesn't get his act together, I think Carolina will fire him, and it won't be mid-season. It won't be. It will be very, very well soon. He's gonna find. He's already. His ass is boiling hot right now. This is a result-driven league, ladies and gentlemen. And this defense isn't producing anything right now. It's producing the same thing we saw last year. It's headaches and losing. There are only so many times you can blame injuries or or talent before you have to look in the mirror and admit the problem is deeper than that. I really had thought about this long and hard. I really have thought about this long and hard. And it's like another thing is like for a brief stretch in that game, like this unit looked mildly functional against the run, but those moments were fleeting. Like Jacksonville pushed them around at will, and with the pass rush non-existent, I mean, we'll get there maybe, but Trevor Lawrence had time to sit in that pocket, sip coffee, survey the field like he was playing 7-on-7s. Like, let's be honest. Now let's talk about your beloved quarterback. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on new content. Let's talk about Bryce Young. 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. The kid should have had 3 interceptions on the day, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. 1 got called back due to a holding, but I digress. Again, stumbled out the gate. And the questions aren't going to go away, ladies and gentlemen. The questions about, is this kid actually cut for the NFL, or is he another first-round bust? It's a nut, because I'm telling you, that question's not going to go away with that, not with these types of performances. It's another season opener and another dud from Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Like, the box score tells its own story, right? An interception, a fumble, really 2 interceptions, 3, actually technically 3. We know the 2, but technically 3. A handful of missed throws that could have gone for touchdowns. But the real damage comes in it's just deja vu. This is your 3rd straight year Young has opened up the season looking like a guy who isn't ready for the stage. If you're looking for a silver lining here, here's one. Last year he threw an interception on his first pass attempt of the season. This time he at least waited until the second quarter. Progress, technically encouraging, not much. So the big question is still going to be, is Bryce just not built for this league? Here's the thing. The Lynn sanity question is what I like to call it. The Lynn sanity. That's what I like to call it. The Lynn sanity question. It's fair to ask whether last year's second half surge, the stretch that pulled Young back from the brink of irrelevance, was real or just a hot streak? Was it legitimate turnaround, or was it a Lynn sanity style flash in the pan, right? The answer is complicated in my eyes. If I go back and watch this tape, or if I go back and watch his tape, well, I could go back and watch his tape from last year, but especially the week 1 last year compared to the opening weeks of 2024, right? So if I go watch the tape from this game and compare it to the opening weeks of 2024 last year, Young looked flat out terrified. He played small. He checked down out of fear. He avoided the throws he should have made. This time, that wasn't the case. Okay. Young wasn't timid on Sunday. He took chances, I'll say. He made the same kind of throws he made during last year's Renaissance, the same throws that earned him one of the highest PFF grades in the league after his bench. The problem wasn't fear. The problem was execution by him, by his receivers, and by his coaching staff. The thing is with Bryce Young in this game that I saw that showed up in Jacksonville, the one that I saw that showed up in Jacksonville, this Bryce Young wasn't good. Let's get that out the way real quick. Okay. All right. The interception was a forced ball. The fumble was avoidable. All you had to do was slide. And he should have gone down instead of stumbling forward and into disaster. He missed 2 throws that should have gone for 6 points. His desperation 4th down heave that turned into an interception, later wiped out by a penalty, which was reckless. Okay. But unlike the early 2024 outings, Young also delivered a few generally sharp throws, threading some passes into some tight windows. We did see some of that. Push the ball down the field when he had the chance. That wasn't happening last year. The real difference is, and I'm going to add some context to this, is that the play calling was predictable. It was. His receivers outside of Tre'von McMillan were ghosts. I don't know where I think Excel's sense of awareness went out the door. Maybe there's too much going on this offseason for him. I don't know. But the offense as a whole looked like it was meeting for the first time in Jacksonville's airport lounge before kickoff. Like when your head coach refuses to give the starters preseason reps, again, like I said, don't be surprised when they look like they've never played together. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I got a few things that I saw out of Bryce Young that I was like, man, your rhythm is that non-existent, dude. Like, Dave Canales doesn't believe in preseason snaps for his starters. And the offense just gave you a masterclass of why that's a terrible philosophy. And I'm gonna hold myself to that. And I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on that comment there. Because it's you have no argument against it. Because I'm right. Because Young's timing was off. Nearly everyone not named Tre'von McMillan. Passes were late. Routes weren't crisp. The entire operation looked sluggish. It wasn't just Young, though. It was the whole offense. But for a quarterback trying to prove he's the guy, starting a year with no rhythm is setting fire to your own credibility, Bryce. Like, I have to give you the blame there. Right? Like, another thing is that the turnovers came back. Like last year's version of Bryce Young post-benched was defined by a smart decision-making, clean football, and that player didn't show up in Jacksonville. The interception was the kind of mistake he cut out last season. The fumble was the result of bad awareness. By halftime, he just had 47 passing yards and 2 turnovers. But he wasn't the only problem. But he was a very visible one. Now, I will say this. His connection with Tre'von McMillan is real, man. I mean, that's the only bright spot I could say is like those guys have built really good chemistry. I think there's something there to be had. I think McMillan ran sharp routes. I think he won some contested catches. He bailed out Bryce multiple times. Like, this is the chemistry that the Panthers can build around. But again, if defenses don't have to respect anyone else in the passing game, but McMillan is going to draw double teams by October if this is how it's going to go. Unless someone else steps up, this buddying partnership risk being smothered before, it can even flourish. So I think the frustration is setting in for sure. I mean, I think fans saw it. I think the camera saw it. You know what I mean? Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. But I mean, the frustration is definitely setting in. I mean, the body language told the whole story. I mean, after stall drives, he walked off the field deflated. Like on the sideline, when Canales tried to console him, Young wasn't here, and he was frustrated for good reason, because probably Canales is feeding him some stupid ass, oh, it's all good, man, bullshit. He's getting, the protection was better. I mean, the protection was okay. I'm not saying it was great, but it was okay. It was good enough to go out there and make some plays, in my opinion. It's still frustration doesn't absolve him, though. His missed throws, his bad reads, they matter. They piled on. But this just felt too familiar, man, watching him in this game. Like, I think Young's final throw of the game, the interception, right, was just the perfect exclamation point on a miserable day, man. Like, the stat line, a 40.9 passer rating and a 20.5 QBR with a late garbage time touchdown. Again, that looked more like the 2024 bench version of the Young than the confident, sharp passing one who returned last season. Like, yeah, it's one game, but for a quarterback under as much scrutiny as this kid's is right now, one game carries a lot of weight. And this game felt like the wrong kind of deja vu. All right. I'll say that. Like, Bryce Young isn't bad. He's not just bad, but I don't know if I'm ready to put the bust word on him yet. I think the 2024 second half was too good, too consistent, too analytically impressive to dismiss as a fluke. But Sunday was a regression. It came at the worst possible time to start the year that was supposed to prove he's the franchise. I think the excuses, no Aquanu, no Thielen, no preseason rhythm, could be real. At least some of them. But but they don't erase the turnovers, the missed throws, the body language of a quarterback already shouldering too much weight, right? Like, we didn't just lose to Jacksonville. We looked unprepared, uninspired, fundamentally broken. Like, Bryce Young was part of the problem, but he was stuck in the middle of a storm he didn't really create, to be honest with you. It's not like, is it time to pull the plug? I'm going to say I don't know. And because I don't. Is it time for Young to show resilience? But I know one thing, it's time for Young to show some resilience again, because if he doesn't, these whispers about whether he's cut for this league, they're starting to turn into shouts. They're not just whispers anymore. And I'll say this too, the Bryce Young, part of this is on coaching too, right? All right. Like I'm saying, like, Bryce isn't blameless here. He threw late, he forced balls, he made mistakes. They looked alarmingly similar to the worst moments last year. Like, the interception was bad, the decision making was shaky. But let's be fair here. I still think he was set up to fail. Dave Canales let Young and the starters play a grand total of 4 series in the preseason. 4. That is not preparation. I don't care what anybody says. That is negligence. And now, for the second year in a row, the Panthers are using week 1 as an extended scrimmage to shake off rust. And so you're trying to tell me that exempt these games count? That's the difference. These games count. Like, the offense was completely out of sync. The timing was off. The chemistry between Young and his pass catchers, besides Tedder McMillan, was non-existent. When your quarterback looks like a rookie once again, that is as much on coaching as it is on the player. That's why I put Dave Canales on this, because another thing is Austin Corbett is playing himself out of a job. Let's be also clear there. Let's also be clear there, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Corbett is playing himself out of a job. Austin Corbett had a nightmare of a game. He killed a huge play with an inexcusable penalty, then compounded the damage with sloppy snaps, including a couple that blew up key drives before they even got started. One particular botched snap came with Young was trying to audible at the line, leading to a drive-killing sack. That's not bad luck, man. That's just poor execution from a veteran who knows better. Corbett spent the preseason fighting for his job, and I didn't think he deserved it in the first place. After how many times this guy has got hamburger meat for knees and tore his bicep last year, but then they still wanted to put him in there when K. Bays built better chemistry. It was way more effective on that offensive line than Corbett has ever been. And they still chose to put him in over Cade Mays. You are out of your mind, and that's a terrible coach decision. Again, a coaching problem. Cade Mays is waiting on the wings, and he's licking his chops. And at this rate, it wouldn't be shocking to me if this coaching staff gives him a serious look sooner rather than later, and they should. Because Austin Corbett is trash, and I told you that. And he is a rotational player at best. That is what he is. Oh, I'm going to get to my blames here in a second. Let's talk about a guy who actually was a bright spot, though, on this team. Let's talk about our rookie wide receiver, Tre'von McMillan. I mean, hey. Nalo is that guy. T-Mac is that guy. Can we just say it? I mean, I know it wasn't 100 yards. I don't expect him to have 100 yards, okay? It's probably it's tough right now in that game. It's hard for T-Mac to get 100 yards after what we saw, okay? All right, T-Mac's the real deal, man. I mean, I'm going to give y'all some good news, all right, at least. All right, this was one of the bright spots in this mess. I mean, it's Tre'von. He didn't just look competent. He looked like a cornerstone piece for this offense, man. Clean routes, as expected, right? Excuse me 1 second. Excuse me. But yeah, man, I mean, he ran clean routes. Caught what came his way. He actually appeared to be on the same page as Young. That's more than what we can say for the rest of this receiving core. I remember the preseason chatter about his drops and timing. And that, that's gone. That's fixed. You can tell that. I mean, the Panthers may have botched plenty this offseason, but drafting McMillan already looks like their best decision for sure. He's not just good for a rookie. He looks like a long-term building block, at least from this game, right? Yeah, I harped on the defense, but if we're gonna throw any blame around in this game, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my blames. I'm gonna give you my blames real quick. Excuse me. First, my blame goes to the prime suspect number one. Prime suspect number one is going to start with, at the top, Dave Canales. You are prime suspect number one. That's what you are. You flat out bludgeoned this shit. You gave your starters 4 total series in the preseason, which left them what you saw on the field today. Rusty, disjointed, unprepared, and again, that's negligence on your part. Your play calling was timid, predictable, and really situationally clueless, in my opinion. Shotgun on 3rd and 1. Empty backfield on 4th and 1. Like, what? You know what I mean? A screenplay on 3rd and 6. I won't let that one go. Your offense looked like it was meeting for the first time in Jacksonville. And that's not on Bryce Young. That's on Dave Canales. If this game is a mess, it's because the head coach designed the blueprint for disaster. So you're prime suspect number 1. That's where I go with my blame. Dave Canales is prime suspect number 1. Number 2 is the offensive line. You're the enabler, Austin Corbett. You can't run an offense when the center is snapping early, high, flat out wrong. Corbett wiped out a big play with a penalty, then killed drives with botched snaps. Without Ike Ekwonu, I know some of you don't like him, but I thought without Ike Ekwonu today, the protection on that blind side, I thought Josh Nijman did okay, but you could tell they were missing Ike Ekwonu. I'm sorry. Josh Nijman is not that good. You should have had Brady Christensen there. I mean, Bryce Young didn't have any rhythm. But I don't think Bryce Young did himself some many favors in some of that. But Josh Nijman was getting beat. There was times where Josh was getting beat. Next, I hate to say this, but Bryce Young, you're my next blame. I'm just gonna say it like you're the face of the problem. You weren't sharp. He didn't get a pass. He didn't get a pass just because the supporting cast around him stunk, and you're the enablers and the prime suspect. Like, you're the face of the problem. You forced an interception. You fumbled carelessly. You had 2 touchdown opportunities that sailed wide. You also looked visibly rattled. Your body language was, slumped. Frustration was obvious. I mean, quarterbacks don't just manage throws. They manage the tone of the game, and you let the system that Bryce Young let the situation drag him down, and it showed. I'll say this: the defense is the next culprit, or the lack thereof. That's the background noise, to be honest with you. Like, that defense was paper thin. Torque Wharton went out. The run defense then collapsed instantly, and then the Jaguars ran 30-plus yards on the very next play. The pass rush was non-existent. Trevor Lawrence had every drop back. I mean, were we expected them to be good? No, but they didn't even meet low expectations to be even competent. The offense wasn't even competent, right? I'm going to say this. The pass catchers, everyone not named Tedero McMillan, all you guys were ghosts. McMillan looked like a stud. The rest of the receivers looked like they never practiced before. Xavier Legette couldn't stay in bounds. Jalen Coker, I think's absence is showing. I think it hurt. Adam Thielen, I think it's more on Jalen Coker's absence, really. I mean, Young had almost no help, so that doesn't really excuse his mistakes, but it definitely magnifies them. So if I'm going to put a percentage on it, I would say it's 40% Dave Canales. I think it's if we're talking about the blame pie and I had a pie chart, I would put 40% on Dave Canales. The scheme, the preparation, the situational calls doomed us. I would put 25% on the offensive line. I think protection and the snaps killed a lot of our drives. I'm going to put 20% on Bryce Young. Turnovers, missed throws, visible frustration matter. I'm going to put 10% on the defense because they folded without Wharton and there was no pass rush. And then I'm going to put 5% on the receivers minus McMillan because they disappeared when needed. This wasn't just a Bryce Young problem, ladies and gentlemen. This was a Panthers problem. And if you want the clearest why it's Canales, why? It's because Canales refused to prepare this team properly, and then coach scared once the real games came to play, like today. I didn't hate JC Horn. I didn't. Facts, Clay. Appreciate that, Brad. That's where I put the blame at. If we're going to be honest with you, you could go with like winners and losers. Your losers is Bryce Young. Your loser is Dave Canales. Your loser is Austin Corbett. Your loser is Xavier Gatt. All you guys are losers. Straight up losers. If you want to say the winners today, your winners for today is Tedero McMillan, Turk Wharton, and J.C. Horn and Chuba Hubbard. Those were your winners for the day. And I don't even have to explain it. I've already explained. I gave Chuba Hubbard his. I didn't even give Chuba Hubbard his love. Let's go to Chuba Hubbard real quick. I'm gonna give Chuba Hubbard his love. I'm gonna give him some love. I think I'll give Chuba Hubbard some love. He had a decent game. I mean, he had 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown, but he also had 16 carries, 57 yards, and on 15 carries. But Rico Dowdle should have got some more burn, man. I'm going to say that. Rico Dowdle should have got more burn. I don't understand why we didn't get more burn with Rico Dowdle when you have a 2-headed monster back there, 2 guys who had over you had 2 guys that had over 1,000 yards last year. Why not? Why wasn't he getting some burn? I just don't get it. But yeah, I mean, I gotta give Chuba some credit real quick. I think one thing about Chuba is that it wasn't spectacular, it wasn't anything flashy, but on a day like this, like competence counts as winning. Like I think Hubbard, scored the Panthers. He's the only one that scored a touchdown. He ran the ball effectively when given opportunities. The problem was that those opportunities dried up once the game slipped away. Like, of course, they're going to slip away when you're down. Like the Hubbard did his job. He ran with decisiveness. He found what few holes that existed, at least provided a faint heartbeat for the offense, right? But then, on the other side too of the ball, for like if we're talking about a defensive winner, I'll say a defensive winner for sure was J.C. Horn. I thought J.C. Horn had a good game, man. I thought he looked sharp. He looked locked in. He looked confident. He wasn't beaten off, right? He wasn't when he he immediately made up for it with a physical play. Like he contributed in the run defense. He was throwing his body around. He was making some key tackles. That jaw-dropping one-handed interception on a deep shot to Travis Hunter was nasty. That was the kind of play that reminds you why Horn, when healthy, is one of the best scorers in football. We couldn't even score on that. That was another thing is it was so frustrating on that offense too. Is like there was multiple times that Jacksonville was giving us the field position to really go down and make some plays and score. Like their kicker put the ball on. I mean, they literally gave us the ball on the 40-yard line, like 3 times, and both drives just failed. And then the interception failed. So that's like 4 missed opportunities to really put points on the board, if you think about it. Probably more. Bryce Young also missed 2 touchdowns today, let's be honest. So we're talking about a lot of points left out on the board. Hi, Jason. Hi, Tamara. Hi, my name is Tamara, and I'm a Panthers fan. Oh, Lord. Didn't get a chance to, local kid. Really didn't get a chance to. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you guys pound that like button. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Over 124 people watching. We had over 950 people watching the live play-by-play, ladies and gentlemen, and that is just wild. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming through and showing your support. I mean, Jadarius, think about how I feel. I have to get up on. I mean, I don't have to. I don't have to, but I do. As a YouTube content creator, yeah. But you might as well just go ahead and criticize this team for sure. I feel your pain, man. Trust me. But yeah, man, JC Horn though. I mean, listen. When JC Horn today with the plays he made, reminds you why Horn, when he is healthy, is one of the best corners in football. For sure. Let me talk about my boy. This is not a conversation I really want to have. This is really not a conversation or really what I want to talk about right now. All I'm going to say is this about Xavier Legette real quick, because I know a lot of people are going to have already talked about it. I'm going to say this, man. Like, when Adam Thielen shipped out, this was Legette's chance to really step up, and instead he looked like a guy in and over his head. You're talking about a guy that failed to keep his feet in bounds on catches he should have made. Twice, he cost his quarterback big plays. He never looked comfortable, and worse, and he looked unaware of basic situational football. The opportunity was there. Legette flat out wasted it. Like, he was getting open. There's no doubt about that. That's the thing. You can go back and watch tape. Guy's getting open. He's just not making the plays. He's just not executing. That's all I'm going to say about XL. What else do I have to say, man? I mean, I already talked about Austin Corbett, Dave Canales, Bryce, Tedero, McMillan. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys, man. Like, I'm giving you everything I got tonight, man. Like, I wasn't even going to come on here tonight after the game. I told you guys that I was going to do my live stream tomorrow, and boy, did I couldn't hold it in any longer. I couldn't hold it in any longer. The bottom line is that this team all I'm going to say is this, like the bottom line here is, ladies and gentlemen, is that this Panthers team spent all offseason selling progress. Progress. Trust the process. And what they delivered in Jacksonville was the same tired product as last year. Sloppy, undisciplined, and again, unprepared. I mean, it seems like this defense, too, is just one injury away from collapsing again. This offense is still allergic to rhythm. This pass rush doesn't exist. Bryce Young, our supposed franchise quarterback, is back looking like he's trying to survive instead of thrive. I get it. It's only week 1. But I'm going to be honest. This team looks like it's already circling the drain, man. It already looks like it's circling the drain. And we're just waiting for it to go down that drain at this point, to be honest with you. That's the way I look at it. Oh, Zach, yeah, I'm dude, the NFC South Roundtable tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Everybody be, I'm definitely going to be getting flamed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's coming. It took the same as last year. That's a fact. Yep, they're going to give me hell for sure. It's coming. Don't worry. I'll get flamed in there too, I'm sure. Nah, this Saints fans actually ain't that bad at me, Jadarius. It ain't the Saints fans that hate me. It's more of the Falcons fans that hate me. It's more than the Falcons fans that hate me. Next presser from Dave Canales watch his rah roses and rainbow bullshit. This stuff running the thin, man. Like I can't. I can't, man. Yeah, not as much as Berto. Berto's going to come after me. Yeah, for sure. Evero's defense will never stop the run. Yeah, we'll see. We're still in second place. I guess take it for what it's worth, right? Panthers gal, take it for what it's worth. We're still in second place. Yeah. Reminds me of Kellen DeBoer right now. Oh Lord. Don't bring that up. I don't know how many Bama fans we have in here. Yeah, I just don't see any. I agree, Mac. I don't see us going anywhere with Evero. I don't see us going anywhere either. So, guys, I don't know what else more to say, man. I think I feel like I've gotten everything out at this point. We've been live for over an hour, so I'm gonna hop off of here. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you guys pound that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. Of course, I'm still going to be putting out content. I ain't going nowhere. All right. This team can go 0-17 and I'll still be here talking my shit. So appreciate everyone joining the live stream. And as always, guys, I don't even know if I can say it. Keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.